Streaming live now on News8000.com. You're watching WKBT La Crosse. This is News 8 Now, this weekend.
Good evening and thank you for watching News 8 Now this weekend. I'm Allison Fergit. The La Crosse Police Department is investigating a North Side shooting. It happened this evening on Logan Street between Wood and George Streets. When officers arrived, they found one person that had been shot. They were transported to a hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Police believe the shooting is an isolated incident. They ask anyone in the area with information to reach out at 608-782-7575. Happening around the state, Milwaukee police say one suspect is in custody and another is dead after a Milwaukee police officer shot him. Police responded to reports of two armed men entering a business on Saturday afternoon. When they arrived, the officers ordered the suspect to drop the gun several times before firing. A 41-year-old man died from a gunshot wound. No one else was injured. The officer was placed on administrative leave, as is routine in officer-involved investigations. A Wisconsin teen is claiming the Menendez brothers inspired him to stab his mother to death. 15-year-old Reed Galensky was charged with first-degree intentional homicide Thursday. He shared with officers that he killed his mother, Reed stating, "She is dead from what I did." He says the Menendez brothers documentary on Netflix inspired the act.
I think it's just really hard for anyone to believe what happened, and she never deserved that.
Reed also said he had been taking his brother's anxiety medication for about a month. The complaint says he took 9 pills that night. A 14-year-old school shooting survivor from Madison is back home after 46 days in the hospital. In December, a student opened fire at Abundant Life Christian School, killing a classmate and a teacher and then taking her own life. 6 other students were injured. Freshman River Clardy was shot multiple times. He needed 5 surgeries in those first few days. He was in the ICU with a breathing tube for almost 2 weeks. Over the next month, River had to relearn many things, including how to eat and walk.
Well, everybody saw a gorgeous end to the weekend out there today. Many locations actually getting into the first day of the 60s, and tomorrow we're going to up it just a little bit more, possibly seeing the first day in the 70s for some locations. We have some clouds moving in right now, although we'll see a fairly mild overnight. Partly cloudy skies as we go throughout the rest of the night, and fairly calm conditions before those winds start to pick up again tomorrow afternoon. Here's a look at our observed highs: 65 in La Crosse, 58 in Eau Claire. Not really record highs, but definitely very warm for this time of year, as our normal high for this time of year is usually sitting in those low 40s out there. So a very gorgeous day, plenty of sunshine. We're going to continue to see mild conditions going into tonight, near freezing, a little bit warmer than last night, but still chilly when you're waking up in the morning with a couple clouds out there. As you wake up in the morning, we'll slowly be warming. However, we'll really pick that up as we go into the late morning hours with that sun shining. We're going to have temperatures climbing very quickly, already getting close to that 60-degree mark in La Crosse by the noon hour. Eau Claire still climbing that low 31 and then already getting into the mid-50s by the afternoon. So another very gorgeous day ahead of us. Record highs possible in a lot of locations, and I'm definitely looking forward to it. Some warmer weather to end the week as well, so I'll bring it all down a little bit.
Exciting to actually be looking forward to a Monday for once.
Yeah, that's very true.
All right, thank you, Nicole. Skiers from around the state faced off at the Derek Iverson Spring Fling today. The annual ski competition is dedicated to Derek Iverson. The beloved member of the La Crosse ski community lost his battle with cancer 4 years ago. Now his event hosts hundreds of young skiers at Mount La Crosse. For many, this is the first big competition they get to compete in.
There are a lot of families that have never been to the La Crosse area, much less Mount La Crosse, and so it's their first time here, and I feel like we just put on a good show for them. Not only here at Mount La Crosse with great conditions, but La Crosse is just a very welcoming community, and people really say that this is their favorite race of the year.
Earlier today, Mount La Crosse released their closing date in a Facebook post. The last day of the season will be next Sunday, March 16th.
This year we were actually more open earlier than ever before. We were able to open with at least half of the runs in December. We were 100% open by Christmas. That's never happened in company history. So we are just really thrilled that we got some cold weather early.
This week, the slopes will be closed Monday through Wednesday and will reopen on Thursday for the final days of the season. The Parenting Place and Ultra Federal Credit Union teamed up to bring the Family Fun Expo to the Omni Center today. The expo this year featured a superhero theme for the attendees, housing dozens of local vendors, a bounce house, face painting, food trucks, games, and plenty of prizes for all in attendance.
Really fun expo is sort of this expo put on for all the local families in the community to come together and have a day of fun while also getting access to important resources and organizations in the community. So we've partnered with so many great organizations and resources to come and be vendors at this event.
Singer Mike Hawkett, storyteller Michael Scott, and the YMCA Martial Arts Program also performed at the event. The expo ran from 11 to 3 this afternoon and was free for all to attend. People in Houston, Minnesota had a hoot today. That's because it was the last day of the International Festival of Owls. The festival started back in 2003 as a Hatch Day party. Since then, the event has grown to include international speakers, the World Owl Hall of Fame Awards, and a highly competitive International Children's Owl Art Contest. Although the festival brings a lot of fun to the community, it also teaches some valuable lessons.
From my perspective, there's several points to doing this. Our main one is education, to teach people not just about owls, but how we impact owls and how we can live more owl-friendly lives.
The festival also helps financially support the center and the Houston community as people from around the world come to the area to celebrate owls. Still to come, 5 are injured after a small plane crashed in Pennsylvania. What happened in the lead up to the crash after this.
Don't miss Home's preferred customer event. Get up to an extra 10% off sale prices or pay no interest for 3 years on your favorite furniture brands in bedroom, dining room, living room, and mattresses. Hurry in. The preferred customer event, only at Home Furniture.
I'm Judge Susan Crawford. Right now, there's a lot of false ads trying to tell you who I am. So I thought I'd tell you myself. As a former prosecutor and now as a judge, I've made sure rapists, murderers, and child predators were behind bars. I believe in protecting your family and your right to privacy, and that women have the right to make their own decisions about their health care. Because to me, that's just common sense. And that's why I'm running for Supreme Court.
It's the preferred customer event at Home Sleep Express. Get up to 10% off sale prices or pay no interest for 3 years on Luxuria and Thomas Cole Sleep. Get this Aurora Queen or this Jewel Pillow Top Queen, your choice, for just $8.99. The preferred customer event, now at Home Sleep Express.
Hey, there's John McGivern.
You know John McGivern?
She sure does. What's up?
I'm trying to figure out which Medicare Advantage plan to choose.
That's easy. Network Health. They have plan options with the Part B Premium Give Back. That's money back in your pocket. Dental and vision benefits, even plans with a $0 monthly premium.
That's what I've been telling her.
I'm going to give them a call.
Call today, 833-7-NETWORK.
Five people are injured after a small plane crashed in Pennsylvania today. The plane crashed shortly after taking off from Lancaster Airport. No one was on the ground was hurt, but the plane burst into flames, damaging about a dozen vehicles. No one was killed in the crash.
The fact that we have a plane crash where everybody survives and nobody on the ground is hurt is a wonderful thing. And anytime you have transportation, you always have risk when people are moving. But to have this type of ending right so far is a great day for us.
Early reports indicate the pilot told air traffic control he had an open door on his plane. The controller told the pilot to pull up moments before the crash. Money is at center stage in Washington politics this weekend, with a government shutdown looming over a budget battle and President Trump's threat to unleash more tariffs on the nation's largest trade partners. CBS News correspondent Nicole Killian reports from West Palm Beach, Florida.
A potential government shutdown is looming this Friday. House Speaker Mike Johnson says a vote on a Republican-backed measure unveiled over the weekend will take place on Tuesday. But it remains to be seen whether GOP lawmakers can pass the continuing resolution along party lines or have to rely on Democratic votes.
The text was just released yesterday, compliant with the 72-hour rule before a vote. We're still digging through it. Like most bills, there's some good in there, there's some not so good in there, and we got to make an aggregate decision.
In the case of the CR, there's been offers to negotiate, and there's been very little negotiated. It's kind of been a my way or the highway type of thing.
In another high-stakes battle, President Trump spoke about his new tariffs on Mexico, Canada, and China.
And we're basically going to take back the money, a lot of the money that we've given away over many decades. We've lost our jobs, we've lost our factories.
The president was asked in a television interview that aired Sunday why he paused some tariffs, including those on auto imports, until next month.
But this is short term, and I felt that for the good of the American car makers and the MCA, the USMCA, that's Mexico, Canada, I thought it would be a fair thing to do. And so I gave them a little bit of a break for this short period of time.
While in Washington, authorities are investigating after an armed man believed to be traveling from Indiana was shot and injured by U.S. Secret Service agents near the White House.
As officers approached, the individual brandished a firearm, at which time an armed encounter ensued, and Secret Service personnel discharged their service weapons.
President Trump was in Florida at the time of the incident. Nicole Killian, CBS News, West Palm Beach, Florida.
The Trump administration is enlisting new leadership at the Department of Immigration and Customs Enforcement. Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem announced today Todd Lyons will serve as acting director of ICE. Noem said with Lyons at the helm, she wants to see the number of deportations increase. Secretary of State Marco Rubio will travel to Saudi Arabia to continue peace talks with Ukrainian counterparts. He says the trip will help advance the president's goal to end the Russia-Ukraine war. He will also meet with Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman. The State Department has ordered non-emergency government personnel to leave South Sudan, citing continuous security threats in the country. Today, the agency re-emphasized U.S. citizens should not travel to the country due to ongoing conflicts between various groups. U.S. employers added 151,000 jobs last month, and unemployment ticked up slightly to 4.1%. February's jobs report also had a taste of what's to come, with the federal government losing 10,000 jobs. Coming up, extreme weather is sweeping across the country, and experts say more than 50 million people could be affected. Find out where after the break.
We have some record work to start our week off with record highs possible across the entirety of the area tomorrow. We'll have all the details coming up right after the break.
When you have a drain backup, you need help fast. From slow drains to clogged mains, we solve it all. Maxwell White has been solving sewer, septic, and drain issues in the La Crosse Coulee region for more than 30 years. Fast, reliable, and professional. Call or book online today.
Tax refund season is here, and Wesco on Sparta is making it more fun than ever. Dreaming of a brand new sectional or that comfy bed you've been eyeing? Now's the time to treat yourself. Save 20% all month long on furniture and bedding, just in time to make your home the talk of the group chat. Have fun with your tax refund and make your space shine with Wesco and Sparta. Your home, your style, your savings, your Wesco. Tell them Peyton sent you.
This is Curtis O'Brien, a convicted felon. He sexually assaulted a 5-year-old Wisconsin girl multiple times. Judge Susan Crawford could have given him 60 years in prison, but she let him walk. 2 years in prison. That's it. While his victim lives with the scars forever. She even let the predator live across the street from an elementary school. That was Crawford's choice. Another dangerous decision from Susan Crawford, putting all our kids at risk. She's just wrong for Wisconsin.
Get ready to experience the impossible. The magic of Bill Blagg Live. An unbelievable side-splitting spectacular filled with mind-blowing magic and jaw-dropping illusions. Sensational, captivating, incredible family fun. Tickets are on sale now. Don't miss the magic of Bill Blagg Live. He's changing reality one city at a time, and yours is next.
Order at 608-796-3100 or ViterboFineArtsCenter.com.
Around here, neighbors come together to make each other better. We're taking the same approach with healthcare. Gunderson Health System and Bellin Health have come together to form Amplify Health, giving you more of what's important in healthcare. More caring, more listening, more to feel good about on your way to feeling better. Overall, just a little more heart. Amplify Health by Gunderson. A little empathy changes everything.
Slow or clogged sink, toilet, or main drain? Maxwell White can help. Ask about our $99 mainline drain opening special. Includes a free camera inspection. Address the root problem now to avoid costly repairs or future damage. Call or book online today.
Proper installation of your new windows make a difference. The team at Clear Choice Window and Home Solutions are factory trained to make sure your windows are installed to last. Call or stop into the showroom for your free estimate.
The news continues on News 8 Now. Expect more.
More than 50 million people are under the threat of extreme weather across the country. On New York's Long Island, dry conditions and high winds causing multiple brush fires to break out. The National Guard called in to help the firefighters from multiple agencies. Officials say at least 2 firefighters were hurt.
This is mostly brush and forestry. No homes were affected, and that's a large part and due to all the firefighters. These are all volunteers that showed up.
Meanwhile, in parts of the South, residents are bracing for the possibility of flash flooding and even tornadoes. Well, here in the Coulee region, we could see some thunderstorms at the end of the week, but for now, it looks like we have a beautiful start ahead of us. Let's send it over to Nicole for our forecast.
Yeah, we do have the chance to have some thunderstorms moving in as we go into Friday, but until then, we're going to be warm and dry. Not really a lot of precipitation in the forecast until we get to that chance going into Friday, but our main story is really going to be the temperatures. We're going to take another quick look at our observed highs today. Something kind of fun happened. Fun or interesting, however you want to look at it or wherever you're viewing from. Some areas west of the Mississippi might not think it's as fun. As you can see, there is a pretty sharp drop off in our temperatures. A lot of areas west of the Mississippi saw their high temperatures stay below 60 degrees today. You can also say that for areas near and east of I-94. We saw some cooler temperatures, 59 in Wausau, and then 58 in Beaver Dam and 58 in Madison as well. Why exactly did that happen? Because we have this little pocket of warmer air where we saw 65 in La Crosse and still seeing some mid and low 60s just to the east of La Crosse. Why exactly did that happen? Well, believe it or not, there still is some snow on the ground. You'll remember that system passed through on Wednesday, and we're still seeing some remnants of it. That strongest band happened just west of our area where we saw nearly 8 to 12 inches of snowfall drop. So even with our warm week, it's taking quite a bit of time for that snow to dissipate. Here we are at 6 a.m. this morning, still seeing around 1 to 3 inches on the ground over here and just east of I-94. Like we said, when you have snow on the ground, it kind of blocks off the ability for the sun to heat the ground, and you also have to put more heat into melting the snow, which really makes it feel just a little bit colder for us. So, like we saw, areas just to our east stayed a little bit cooler, and areas into southwestern Minnesota where that southerly flow had to pass over that snowpack and cooling it down a little bit. Just a fun little interesting fact, but good news is a lot of that should be out of the way now, as a lot of our snow has really melted off today, so warm temperatures are making quick work of it. If it didn't melt off today, then it'll definitely be gone by tomorrow. Here's a look at our possible record highs across the area. Areas near and south of I-90 seeing a very good chance to get up to 70 degrees. Otherwise, everybody else at least getting into the 60s if you didn't already get there today. Here's our record highs that we're aiming for tomorrow. In La Crosse, set all the way back in 1894, 67 degrees. Our forecast set at 69. So it's a toss-up, but it's pretty close. We have a decent opportunity for it. Eau Claire, that record high is 64 in 2012, and that forecast at 65, up to a little bit. So again, there's that chance that multiple cities could be seeing those record highs. We'll have a brief cool down come Tuesday as a cold front passes through Wednesday evening. This is still above normal though. It's going to feel a lot cooler after those 70s on Monday, but still above normal, and we're going to quickly bounce back as we go into the second half of the week. It's also going to be bringing some gustier conditions. We still have some breezy conditions going on tomorrow afternoon. Areas south of I-94 seeing wind gusts upwards of 35 miles an hour, and then once that cold front passes through overnight on Monday, we're going to see another quick round of some breezier conditions. When that passes through, we'll see those winds lighten up Tuesday morning, and we should have briefly calm to light winds as we go into Tuesday afternoon. Otherwise, the main story this week is really those temperatures. A decent chance for some of us to see 70 on Monday, that brief cool down come Tuesday, but again, quickly bouncing back, getting into the 50s Wednesday, back into the 60s Thursday, and another chance to see 70 on Friday. There is that strong system passing through though that could possibly bring some thunderstorms to the area on Friday, so we'll make sure that we update whenever we see them.
For sure. Well, definitely need to enjoy it while we still have some dry conditions out there.
Exactly.
Get out tomorrow if you can.
Sunny skies
especially because we get later sunsets now.
It's
spring
true. More
forward
time
today.
to enjoy it.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Nicole, for that update. And coming up in sports, Kate will have a highlight on all of the weekend action. We'll have that right after the break.
Your commute, your lunchtime, your drive home. Is it going to be clear, rainy, or worse? Every morning, I'll let you know. We'll see you then.
If you can't say anything nice, come sit next to us at LCT's production of Steel Magnolias. Tickets are on sale now. Call or stop into the LCT box office or visit lacrossetheater.org.
I'm Judge Susan Crawford. Right now, there's a lot of false ads trying to tell you who I am. So I thought I'd tell you myself. As a former prosecutor and now as a judge, I've made sure rapists, murderers, and child predators were behind bars. I believe in protecting your family and your right to privacy, and that women have the right to make their own decisions about their health care. Because to me, that's just common sense. And that's why I'm running for Supreme Court.
At Spectrum, we believe every day unlocks unlimited possibilities to bring you closer to the people and places you love. Spectrum transforms your gaming experience into a galaxy of adventures. And with the fastest, most reliable internet, you're always front row to the entertainment you love, no matter where you are. Get Spectrum Internet Premier for $30 per month when bundled plus a 3-year price guarantee. Call 1-833-440-0029. Spectrum Internet puts streaming live TV, sports, and popular apps all at your fingertips.
It's tournament time at Osseo Automotive, and the savings are giant. And so is the selection.
Get giant discounts on new in-stock EVs, like $13,000 off on a new 2024 Silverado 4WD. Get $12,000 off a 2024 Blazer EV, or over $3,000 off and 0% financing on a 2024 Equinox 2RS all-wheel drive.
You'll never see anything this big again. Giant tournament sales going on now at Osseo Ford, Nelson Gunderson Chevrolet, Fountain City Ford, and Rudy's in Whitehall.
If you can't say anything nice, come sit next to us at LCT's production of Steel Magnolias. Tickets are on sale now. Call or stop into the LCT box office or visit lacrossetheater.org.
Covering all of the exciting action from your community, here's News 8 Now Sports with Kate Overton.
We had a busy day of action yesterday that included the UWL Eagles making it to their first ever NCAA Division III Sweet 16. Last night at the Lacrosse Center, UWL took on St. Norbert in the second round, and the Eagles were locked in from the very start, taking a 10-point lead into halftime that eventually led to a 77-67 win. Now, UWL is entering territory they've never been, but the team has proven to be one of the best in the country, and now they're ready to get back to work.
I'm excited for this group of guys to go in the Sweet 16, and I think we're ready. And like you said earlier, we're battle tested, and that's something that coaches talked about since the beginning of the year. Just our schedule, it was a gauntlet, but we played pretty well, and we're playing good down the stretch, so that's all that matters.
Not only is it the first Sweet 16 in school history, but UWL will be hosting the Sweet 16 and the Elite 8 over at Mitchell Hall. On Friday, the Eagles will face Illinois Wesleyan University on Friday, March 14th. That game starting at 7 p.m., while Wisconsin Lutheran College will face Washington University of St. Louis at 4 p.m. Yesterday, the Badgers dropped their final game of the regular season to Penn State, who is just 5-14 in Big Ten play going into the game. Wisconsin now just 2-3 in their last 5, and all the momentum from the middle of the season seems to have fallen off. Luckily, though, it's tournament time, and Wisconsin can gain it all back in the Big Ten tournament. They've landed a 5 seed and will face the winner of Northwestern in Minnesota. The Big Ten tournament starts on Wednesday in Indianapolis. The Badgers will play on Thursday afternoon. Staying in Madison, it's been announced that the Wisconsin women's basketball coach Marissa Mosley has resigned from her position, and now the Badgers will look to find a new person to lead the team. Mosley finished her 4-year tenure with a 47-75 overall record, including 21-51 in Big Ten play. We also had a crazy day of high school sports yesterday with some awesome boys games, a few teams still alive, and we've got a few awesome local matchups ahead in the sectional semifinals. In Division II, West Salem held on in double overtime over La Crosse Central, and now they'll take on top seed Onalaska. In Division IV, the Luther Knights got an upset win. They'll face top seed Aquinas down in Division IV. And then in Division 5, the North Crawford Trojans took down Potosi to set up a rematch against unbeaten Royal. And Cochrane Fountain City will take on the 2-seed Columbus Catholic. All of those games set for Thursday, March 13th. 2 teams still alive in Minnesota. Yesterday, Rushford Peterson took down unbeaten Southland, and now they'll face the top seed Goodhue for a spot in the state tournament. And in Section 1AA, the Caledonia Warriors will look to continue their dominant season. They'll face the 3-seed Lake City. Both of those games also set for Thursday. Also in Minnesota, the Caledonia Warriors are the last area girls team standing. They're back at state for the first time since 2019. A tough quarterfinal test as the Warriors will face the 3-seed Minnehaha Academy. That one's set for Wednesday at 8 p.m. in Minneapolis. In the NBA, the Bucks up against the Cavs tonight in Cleveland came into the night on a 13-game win streak. Giannis doing all he can, gets the rebound right to the hoop for 2, then later backing down the defense, hits the fadeaway mid-range. That's good for 2 of his 30 on the night, but the Cavs are the best in the East for a reason. They would go on and take over as they get the win 112-100. How about some NFL news? It's been reported today that Aaron Jones is going back to Minnesota. Jones signed a 2-year, $20 million deal that includes $13 million guaranteed. Jones started 17 games last season for the Vikings, where he had over 1,500 total yards and 7 total touchdowns. This will be Jones's 9th season in the NFL. And any Packer fans who were hoping for a reunion with Davante Adams, you're out of luck. It's been reported that Adams is signing with the LA Rams on a 2-year, $46 million deal with $26 million guaranteed. Adams started last season on the Raiders before being traded to the New York Jets, where he teamed up with Aaron Rodgers. And now the Rams will get him for his 12th season in the NFL. We're still waiting on the Green Bay Packers to make a move. I know there's still some slim free agents out there, maybe a trade, but we just got to look forward to this draft over in April.
Yeah, it's super exciting that it's going to be here in Wisconsin. I can't wait for that. It's going to be, can't wait to see all the coverage we'll have on that.
Also exciting that it's March Madness. I mean, the Badgers, we got conference tournament play started, UWL in the Sweet 16.
Yeah,
I mean,
great
awesome
to
is that?
see. I know, and honestly, like Minnesota State for high school basketball feels like it's been going on so much longer than the Wisconsin side when it comes to the tournament, but great to see some of our Minnesota teams doing so well too. And then of course our Wisconsin teams as we're getting closer to state for both the girls and the boys. Awesome. So exciting. So.
All right, we'll have more news after the break.
Ready for a better career with excellent pay, benefits, and work-life balance? Chart Industries is hiring fabricators. Join the team that's shaping the future and providing awesome pay and excellent benefits. Apply today at jobs.chartindustries.com.
For 49 years, they've brought you the best street machines, motorcycles, street rods, race cars, trucks, antiques, and classics in the Midwest. God's Country Racing Association's annual Custom Auto Show is coming to the South Hall of the La Crosse Center March 14th through 16th. Day passes and weekend passes are available at the door. God's Country Racing Association's 49th annual Custom Auto Show is sponsored in part by Curtis Printing Company, Premier Powder Coating, Big Boar Barbecue, Auto Value, and Holman Custom and Collision.
Wisconsin, one of those places where families spend their winters among frozen lakes and snow-covered hills. With all the fun they're having, it's easy to take for granted how they warm up, by the fire, or simply adjusting their thermostat. But for some of us, it's not that easy. Some of us need to decide whether to heat or to eat, or to further neglect our basic survival needs. We are working families, elderly, disabled, and veterans, all struggling to pay record heating bills. These dangerous temperatures aren't just uncomfortable for us, they can be deadly. If you are struggling to decide if you can put food on the table or heat your home, please reach out for a hand up. No one deserves to suffer when we can help each other.
When my sister was murdered 15 years ago, Brad Schimmel kept his promise to us. He told us he was going to get us justice, and he did. When I see these commercials attacking him, I have a lot to say about that, because Brad would kneel next to my mom and hold her hands. And you're going to tell me that's a person that doesn't care about victims? I'm sorry, that is not true. Brad puts victims first, and that's the type of person that should be in the Wisconsin Supreme Court.
Ready for a better career with excellent pay, benefits, and work-life balance? Chart Industries is hiring fabricators. Join the team that's shaping the future and providing awesome pay and excellent benefits. Apply today at jobs.chartindustries.com.
In this week's eyepiece, we take a look at still running. News 8 Now's photojournalist John Hayes has the story.
I knew right away. He had a passion for tearing things apart and putting them back together.
Favorite part of a vacuum? Honestly, the pleasure of making it work again. Making it work correctly again. You take, well, for instance, this Dyson here, it came in, the machine would die. This is the type of cleaning that the consumer won't generally do to their vacuum because, well, it takes time. The customer would use it, 10 minutes later, it just no power. And lo and behold, the biggest thing is it just needed a really good cleaning. The filters were plugged up, the cyclone's plugged up, the nozzle head's got some hair and debris in it, things like that. And bringing it back to new life. Specialty. Having many machines to choose from to fit that consumer's needs is probably one of the biggest things that keeps consumers coming back. The service after the sale is huge. That's been probably the number one thing that brings customers back, is being able to service their whatever vacuum they purchased. And I got a job here, and it was just, I've always done something, working on stuff with my hands. If I can take it apart, I can put it back together, and I can get it fixed.
Lance says he hopes for another 75 years of successful business in La Crosse. We'll have a final check on your forecast when we return.
For residential, commercial, or high-speed doors, come to La Crosse Glass and Overhead Doors. We carry a variety of CHI door styles designed to fit your vision. Get your free quote today.
Dahl Honda is proud to sponsor News 8 Now's Top Notch Teacher Program. It's always a highlight of our month to recognize the top-notch teacher and thank them for all they do for our students in school. Dahl Honda values the great work all teachers do for our children and community. If you know a teacher who deserves top-notch teacher recognition, please nominate them. Thank you, teachers, for going above and beyond and providing a top-notch education.
Features in Holman is giving you the chance to win free food. Head over to news8000.com and enter the Menu Madness sweepstakes. Pick your favorite menu items each week from Features in Holman for a chance to win weekly prizes.
How would I describe Features in Holman? Food, family, and fun. For food, family, and fun, make it Features in Holman.
Yeah! Now there's a winner! For 49 years, they've brought you the best street machines, motorcycles, street rods, race cars, trucks, antiques, and classics in the Midwest. God's Country Racing Association's annual Custom Auto Show is coming to the South Hall of the La Crosse Center March 14th through 16th. Day passes and weekend passes are available at the door. God's Country Racing Association's 49th annual Custom Auto Show is sponsored in part by Curtis Printing Company, Premier Powder Coating, Big Boar Barbecue, Auto Value, and Holman Custom and Collision.
Get the lowest prices of the year during sales fair at Nelson Agri Center, Friday, March 14th through Saturday, March 22nd. Get huge savings on Milwaukee power tools. Stock up on paint with our buy one, get one specials. We'll have deals on fencing, gates, seeds, and more for your farm. Plus, get an $8 store credit towards already low prices with the junk battery trade-in sale. Thousands of items will be on sale at the lowest prices of the year at Nelson Agri Center, downtown Viroqua.
For residential, commercial, or high-speed doors, come to La Crosse Glass and Overhead Doors. We carry a variety of CHI door styles designed to fit your vision. Get your free quote today.
Well,
we had that snow move through last week, so I would call that our second winter. Right now, we're most likely in the spring of deception. There's a usual good chance to have that third winter because we typically don't stop seeing snow until the end of March or the April.
Can we just skip it?
I was gonna say I need to be an optimist right now, and I
We have a nice
need it to be
I know,
spring.
I'm gonna
It won't
enjoy-
be
I'm
this
gonna
week.
enjoy
The
tomorrow.
end of March blues. We need to get rid of those. Well, thank you for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow.